This couple had children, and they were baptized. The first one was Owen, baptized here in 1814. Then John Finnegans, baptized 1816 here. Then Richard Finnegans, baptized in 1817. Then Patrick Finnegans, 1820. And then Anne Finnegans, 1823. They then all got on a ship at some point around 1850, and they moved to the States. But my Owen Finnegans and Jean Boyle, they got married in 1839 here, and they got married witnessed by witnessed were Michael Wood and James Donnelly. And they found the baptismal records of the children of Owen and Jane before they left. They ended up with 8 children. They had James, born here in 1840. They had Michael, born here in 1845. They had Patrick, born here in 1848. And they had another son, Stephen, there's no record of. He was born in 1849. And then they went to the States. And in the States, they had 5 more children. And so on immigration in the U.S., Owen and Jane Finnegans and another 5 children, including Margaret, born in 1852, Thomas, who died at 2 years old, John again. They then had another Thomas, they named a second Thomas, and then Mitchell. And so the interesting thing is, when they went over to New York, an awful lot of the cousins came along as well. There were, the list here is, let me find it.
You're married from the same family. Things haven't changed.
No, they haven't, but it's interesting. It's like the Bidens who are Finnegans and Blewitts. We travel as a pack. And so there's Thomas Finnegans, and 1882 to 87, he went over. William Henry Finnegans, Daniel Finnegans of Templeton, descendants of Daniel Finnegans, 1829-1902, Daniel Finnegans Jr., 1864, 1939, and then the Kearney family was back in 1813 when they married my three times great grandfather, and their census goes back to Templeton in 1766 in Carlingford, and there's James and Pat Kearney. We met with them earlier today. I'm not sure where the hell he fits in, but there's Mary, John, Henry, Margaret. So the dangerous thing for all of you is we may be related.
To everyone here.
By the way, William Carney, born in 1841, and then there's William Carney, married a second time after he lost his first wife to Elizabeth McAvoy. William and Lizzie Carney had 2 children, Joseph and Patrick. Anyway, there's an awful lot of, the only folks we really found, and we met with 15 of them earlier today, were Carneys.
Tim Carney.
Yeah, and so there's 15 came and showed up today. Where were we?
Fitzpatrick.
Pardon me? 25. There were 25 showed up. 25, and they were so disappointed to find out I had no money. I'm just the vice president.
You get some of that. You not get some of that.
No, but I will be smart. There's plenty here that can do that.
Now, one of the things I inherited from you all is that when I got sworn in as Vice President of the United States, the Washington Post headline said, and I quote, "It's probable no man has ever assumed the office of Vice President of the United States with fewer assets than Joe Biden." You know what I mean? So, we learned how to stay poor, But,
can I make an observation, Mr. Vice President? Had your relatives not left here, You could have been the head barman here. Bigger money.
Hey man, I'd
Bigger
have been
money
a t-shirt.
instead of Derek.
I'd have made a t-shirt. I've been telling you. You know what I mean?
You wouldn't want to be.
Excuse me, who said that?
He's a big year man.
No. Look, you know, the thing is, it's funny, all the stories that you're told as a young kid by my grandfather Ambrose Finnegans and my grandmother Geraldine Finnegan, Finnegan, and my grandpa Finnegan used to talk about his father James saying he was a kid when he left here. They moved to Scranton, Pennsylvania. Scranton, Pennsylvania is in the Pocono Mountains in the valley, and there's a river bigger than the Boyne, but looks like the Boyne, that runs through it called the Lackawanna River. And I swear to God, my grandfather Ambrose Finnegan, who had never been to Ireland, said, my father used to say, it reminded him of home. And as I was riding down these roads, I realized that the picture I had in my mind all these years was accurate. That my grandfather was right. It's an interesting thing, you know, to go back and find out that all the talk and all the stories and all the lore, you know, so much of it has turned out to be spot on accurate. And because, you know, I know no Irish in Ireland exaggerate, but we Irish in America occasionally exaggerate, you know what I mean? And so, but it's just been an incredible thing for me to be able to bring my 5 grandchildren, them to feel it, taste it, and get a sense of it. Because, you know, I'd never been Vice President of the United States if I'm not Irish. And I say that because I grew up in a time and a place where being an Irish Catholic was a liability. I'm the first Irish Catholic ever elected in my state to the United States Senate. I was when I ran, it was the only thing that's ever been used against me is that I am a Catholic in my constituency, a large constituency, and I learned from my mother to have to never bend. To never break. I'll tell you a funny story. I brought my mom and dad